When you look at the defense right here, this defense went off. Like, it's incredible when you look at this group and talking about, look at the stats from both of these guys, both of these units here, 20 sacks, 15 sacks, 20 tackles for loss. Yeah. It's incredible numbers here. And Nick Saban got to a point where he has to pull Will Anderson off the field because the offense couldn't move with Will on there. And then when Will comes off, here comes Dallas Turner and Chris Braz. Well, hey, if Dad's off the field, we're going to eat ourselves. So it was just crazy, the defensive push out there.
Oh, absolutely. I know some of these spring games are a little bit more tailored toward defenses in terms of the offense maybe being a little bit more vanilla, but it shouldn't be tailored this much. I mean, 15 sacks, 10 from the first-team defense. I mean, Bryce Young couldn't get anything going if there's a pass further than 10 yards. I mean, it was really impressive, especially like Will Anderson. I don't even know why he even played out, why he even had to play if he was just going to be this unfair. But I was really pleased to see like Dallas Turner, even Jamil Burrows on the inside.
That's the one. That's the one.
That's the area of the defense that was pretty much in most question in terms of where that interior pass rush was coming from. And Burrows really just showed that he might be the guy come this fall.
I think he is, and it was not just Burrows, Pat. It was a number of different guys. Burrow stepped up. Latham had a sack. Jaheim Otis had a sack. Jeremiah Alexander had a sack. Tim Keenan the third got in there. Like, it was several defensive linemen that got involved, and that's what fans want to see. Can I see more than one defensive pass rusher involved to where we're hitting you at several different angles with pressure, and Saban had to be very pleased with not just Burrow, so he's the most improved defensive line player, but several other guys getting in the mix.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like Nick Saban always likes to have that kind of rotation on the defensive line. Like you said, they thought they were 9 deep last year going into the season, so any way they can create some sort of rotation or get a lot of depth there is just going to be a big plus for Pete Golan's unit.
Also, you got to look at the inside linebackers, and they played well. Henry To'o looked good. Jalen Moody. And then how about Deontay Lawson and the love child of Reuben Foster, Kendrick Blackshire, out there wrecking shop himself? So to me, I feel like, Pat, if this defense can stay healthy, number one, and if Pete Golan can get the right sets, the right players, the right personnel on the field at these situations and games, this could be the number one defense in college football.
It absolutely has a chance. They have a lot of experience back, and I don't envy Pete Golding or Nick Saban, whoever makes the decision at inside linebacker. I don't envy them at all. I think they have a lot of good guys to choose from there.
Big talent there. And so, Pat, last but not least from the spring game, these special teams, talk about having a kicker and a spare. Will Riker and Jack Martin missed nothing. Talk about the addition Coleman Hutzler has made as the special teams coordinator. Jack Martin's like, okay, I'll make a 42-yarder. Will Riker, I'll make a 44-yarder. I mean, both guys went 3 for 3, combined 6 for 6. And what got into James Burnap? He averaged 49 yards a punt, including a 50-yarder traveling down the field. 3 of his 4 boots fell inside the 20-yard line. So, I mean, Nick Saban was talking good stuff about the kicking game prior to A-Day. The kicking game looked good in soggy conditions on A-Day.
Yeah, this might have been the most undercovered story that Alabama's kicking unit is probably the most secure it's been in a decade.
In a long time.
It's been a while, but Will Reichert had a great year in 2020. He wasn't perfect like it was in 2020 last season, but I mean, him and Jack Martin drilling these field goals under those conditions in the rain, and even with I don't really think any bad snaps. I couldn't tell, but I mean, it's just all around really impressive from that unit.
All you know about special teams is if the snap is good, if the hold is good, the kick more than likely is going to be good. So that type of connection between snapper, holder, kicker on special teams where the kicking game is concerned, and then to see Burnap have that success out there putting the football, because a lot of people were kind of like, he had some short punts last season, but I think some of that was due to him trying to squeeze the return guy, and people want to see the return of a J.K. Scott boom the ball type of guy. Maybe Burnap has that in his game, but it was encouraging to see him, flip the field and have some long punts.
Yeah, he did have some longer punts during the spring game, but I think what's important to note about punters is it's not necessarily how far it goes, it's how well it's covered, and I think that's what Nick Saban really likes about him.
Absolutely. Well, folks, big spring game for the Crimson Tide. White getting the 25-7 win over Crimson and Bryant-Denny over the weekend. It was also really cool to see Wilbur Jackson and John Mitchell Jr., the first two African-American players integrated into the program under Coach Paul Bryant, being honored over the weekend. John Mitchell was just highly emotional when the plaque got unveiled, just wearing that emotion, so pleased and so thankful to be immortalized all time in the history of this program. So big kudos to those two and the university for honoring them in this way. Long overdue, but very happy to see those two get their flowers. But we take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. Just getting started. When we return, we go to the phone lines. We grab your calls, your thoughts, your tweets, your chats, your donations, your interactions. It's coming right after this.
You're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith, brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Get your four-finger bling necklace today by visiting weownthefourthquarter.com. Throw them foes up.
Nine players have teamed up and released the Alabama Team Paper, which is a video yearbook they've put out for sale direct to fans. Now, for the first time, small dollar purchases from the fans can support the players as a group as well as a great cause, because $1 of every subscription payment is donated to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Be a 5-star fan base and support your team and a great cause with Team Paper. Check it out at teampaper.com/Alabama.
Remember the taste of Grandma's delicious sweets? Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes brings back those precious memories with just one bite. Each cake made from scratch. They make the perfect dessert to share with family and friends for any occasion, and ordering is easy. Visit emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Click the online store and shop. Then pick up your fresh cake at the kitchen in downtown Homewood. Order yours online at emily'sheirloompoundcakes.com. Emily's Heirloom Pound Cakes, making memories from scratch.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
And we're back, folks, into the action from the break on the number one show. Got the fire right here, talking your Crimson Tide football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Go ahead right now, hit that subscribe, smash the subscribe button right now. Make this your spot for everything Bama. Also, let's get these likes up. Get those likes up. Hit that thumbs up. Give us a like right there. Trying to get this show to 50 likes out the gate right now. Appreciate all of you making this your spot for all things Crimson Tide football conversation. Appreciate my man Patrick Dow out there in that first segment breaking down, kind of recapping there of the good things from the A-Day game. But we go to the phone lines now to grab your calls. The call segment is brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. We take this call here. You're live on the show. What's going on? How are we feeling? State your name and where you calling from?
Stephen M. Smith, this is Justin Riley, and this is a momentous occasion for me. I'm the first caller on a Monday. Man, that has never happened before. I almost don't know what to do.
I mean, Justin, it is a great day. It is a Hall of Fame day for you.
Look at God. I'm telling you, miracles still happen. Well, listen, man, I know you're going to address this at some point during the show, but I think everybody's kind of overreacting in regards to the offensive line. You got to look at a couple of things, going in. First of all, Eric Wolford, as great as he is, he can't work miracles in only 3-4 weeks of spring practice. And he had a couple of starters out, so you can't really expect a whole lot of things to go right per se. And he was working with a patchwork offensive line. And plus, Tyler Steen has not yet made it in. We're going to see him this summer, and he's going to work into the fold. So we haven't yet seen what he's capable of doing. But then, too, there was a bright spot. Tyler Booker looked fantastic to me. He was getting that push. He was just really impressing me up front, moving people back. The offensive line is going to be okay. I just think people need to calm down a little bit, let Wolford do his thing, what he's known for, and we're going to be all right.
I think so also, and I'm going to get into that more, Justin, in the second topic of conversation because, you have to take the A-Day game where the offensive line is concerned into context because there are different things that went on and there are different things that transpire. But once you get everybody healthy, everybody on the field for summer workouts and fall camp, this will be a completely different offensive line that you saw in the spring game. Got to appreciate my man Justin Riley, calling in from Mississippi, showing love here on the show. We grabbed this call. You're live on the show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Oh, it's Monday night. You better get you a delight. Go down to Emily's pound cake and she'll make it right. Whew. I'll tell you what, Stephen, I felt like my dog got run over Saturday, and it certainly wasn't by the offensive line. It's just spring practice. Wait a minute now. Let's stop and think here just a minute. Pump the brakes. It's just spring practice. If that had been Coach Bryant's down my offensive line out there and they'd have played like that, they'd have still been on the practice field. There's no excuse for this. We got some players here I don't think it's quite as many stars as they say they got. It's hurting the depth in the offensive line severely when you think you have what you have and when you get there and you see you don't have what you thought you had. So, I mean, the offensive line is a very important part that it is the most important part of the offense, in my opinion. I mean, I'm no expert on nothing, agree with me or disagree. I don't care. But the sacks we gave up last year, unacceptable. That's unacceptable. I mean, those numbers are unacceptable. I'm not knocking the guys. It's got to get better. I think Wolford to get it better. I hope he does. The Lord's willing, we're going to keep praying. I hope he does. But they've got to get in harmony. They've got to get in one mind and one accord on an offensive line. And, when you go back to look at these great offensive lines we had with Barrett Jones, Warmack, and the Quanjo brothers, and Andre Smith, and I mean, I just keep naming name after name. Those guys were just unstoppable. Their technique was perfect. They knew exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Could play multiple. Barrett Jones, I forgot him, playing multiple positions. When you got an offensive line like that, you got a weapon on your hands. I'm telling you what. But y'all looking good. Blue Ranch gang, everybody's looking good tonight. Hey, let it hit a hiccup there a while ago there. Maybe the lights went out in Georgia. Maybe they'll stay out over there too. All right, I love all y'all. Y'all looking good. Y'all make this show number one show in the world. Y'all keep doing it. I'll see y'all on Wednesday. I love all y'all. Bye-bye, everyone.
Appreciate Waylon calling in here on a Monday. Definitely got to get into my thoughts on the offensive line in this second topic of discussion. But we grabbed this call here. You're live on the show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from. Unfortunately, we lost that caller right there. Okay, here's a caller. You're live on the show. What's going on? How we feeling? State your name and where you calling from.
Calling from VA. My name is
how
Kevin.
you feeling?
Good.
What's on your mind?
Nothing. Just sitting here.
Okay, we appreciate that call calling in also. 205-448-1358. Number to call in, 205-448-1358. I know the offensive line has a lot of people still kind of concerned, but I'm going to definitely get into that and address that in the second subject here of the show. But wanted to bring y'all to this topic right here, and the topic being, the topic being on the call topic being on Coach Saban. So Coach Saban, which was interesting, he wore the blue suit here in the spring game. This is the second time he has worn that legendary blue suit. He wore it the first time, which was the 2017 spring game. Alabama went on to win a national championship, and he wore it again over the weekend. So I'm just saying, what does that mean? Saban trying to secure that second title. Who knows? Remains to be seen, but I just thought it was pretty cool there seeing that blue suit. But also, more so than that, Tyler Harrell was at the spring game, the Louisville transfer speedster receiver. He was there, and a source of mine that is highly vetted, highly inside the program was there. He got a picture of Harrell at the spring game. Harrell also signed, I think, an autograph for my guy, so that's kind of interesting there. But Harrell enjoyed himself. Had a really good visit, had a really good time. The Bama fan base showed this young man a lot of love. So right now, it could be tonight, it could be tomorrow where his decision is going to come. I think ultimately he's going to choose Alabama. He enjoyed his visit. He really had fun. I think what's being sold to him is, hey, bro, Alabama lost Jamison Williams to the NFL. John Mechie's gone to the NFL. We need a speedster. We need a pure speed burner type of receiver at that position that can separate quickly, that can get up and go, that can have that instant offense on the field, and you have all of those ingredients in you. And if you can bring that over here, it's going to be really, really key. So Harrell enjoyed his visit, had a great time. The Bama Nation showed him that appreciation. So between tonight or even by tomorrow, we're gonna be seeing something very soon coming from Mr. Harrell on him choosing the Crimson Tide. Guys, shout out my man Donnie Chappelle with that $49.99 in the Super Chats. That $49.99 coming in there from Donnie Chappelle. As always, a daily Super Chat goal, $75. Daily Super Chat goal. Appreciate you guys. We'll take a break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. When we get back, we get into the offensive line and why you as fans should not be panicking about this group. We'll talk about it after this.
You know what we do at the start of the fourth quarter. We throw them foes up. But now you don't have to wait until the fourth quarter. Get your 4-finger bling necklace at weownthefourthquarter.com. It's the first and only logo that captures the essence of all Crimson Tide players and fans as we represent the legendary Alabama football fourth quarter dominance. Get your 4-finger bling necklace right now at weownthefourthquarter.com. Get yours today and stun on them haters.
Look at all these great players in Touchdown Alabama magazine. Man, wait till I turn up this year. I'm gonna be on the front cover. But what if Will goes off? Or Joe, DeMarco, Chris, Tim, Christian.
Don't wait. Order now at touchdownalabama.com or call 833-483-2624 today.
Christian or Jameer.
All right, folks, we're back into the action here, folks, from the break on a Monday post-A-Day here. Yours truly, Stephen Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. In my own words, welcome in. Appreciate you guys. We're needing that 30 likes, trying to get that 30 likes in here. Just like the show up, give us a thumbs up on the show. Make this your show, your network, platform, channel, and space for Bama. Trying to hit that 50 like mark right now. Need 30 likes to hit that 50 like mark. Appreciate all of you guys showing the support here for the show. Also hit subscribe as well. But now, the offensive line. And here's a sore spot for a lot of you as fans. You're wondering, Steven, what's up with the offensive line? Wolford was supposed to come in here and bippity-boppity boop, like Cinderella, fix that thing and with the ease, not a problem. Rome was not built in a day. It's going to take more than 3 weeks of spring practice for Coach Wolford. Now, he has done some really nice things so far to shore up some areas, to improve some areas, but let's also take this into context. Number one, you had quite a few offensive linemen that were banged up, that did not practice all spring, that didn't scrimmage, that didn't even play in the A-Day game. And a few of these guys just so happen to be starters. You can look at Darian Dalcourt and Emil Ekiyor Jr. Also, James Brockermeyer did not go throughout the spring. Tommy Brockermeyer was in and out all spring, so you had some guys that were limited. You had some guys that did not play. So when you have guys that bring starting experience not on the field throughout the spring, and in the A-Day game, you're throwing different guys out there who probably do not have the experience, and they're going up against a Will Anderson, a Dallas Turner, a Chris Braswell, a Jamil Burrows. Well, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be good at all because the defense at that point is way ahead of the offense. Now, this does not mean the offensive line is not going to be good at all. You get these guys back healthy by summer workouts and fall camp. Tyler Steen emerges on campus. He'll arrive in the summer, the transfer from Vanderbilt, and this is going to be a completely different offensive line than you saw in the A-Day game. Now, will this offensive front win the Joe Moore Award? Maybe, maybe not. But I still feel like it's going to be much improved than what it was a season ago. I don't see Bryce Young getting sacked 39 times, near 40 times, the way he did last year. So I feel like people need to sit here, let these guys that were banged up, injured, let them come back healthy for summer workouts and preseason camp, and then let's see how this group gels, how this group looks. Because let's be honest here, there's not going to be a ton of defenses that will have a Will Anderson on them next season. You're not going to see a ton of defenses with a Dallas Turner or a Chris Braswell or Jamil Burrows or any of these guys for that matter that can rush the passer and make a quarterback's life a living nightmare. You're not going to go up against just a ton of defenses with those types of talented players on there. So that's a positive for this offensive line. Having those guys defensively go up against these offensive linemen every day in practice is going to sharpen them, it's going to improve them, it's going to make them better. So I still think Eric Wolford has this group in line. I still think once you get guys back from injuries and being banged up, get them healed up, ready to go, and then having Tyler Steen arrive here in the summer, this offensive line will be much better. And as much as people can't stand comparisons in college football, you can't get away from them, especially Alabama football, because U.S. fans look at that 2009 offensive line and y'all go, we want that. You look at that 2011 and 2012 offensive line, we want that. You look at the 2015 offensive line that won the Joe Moore Award. Now, Dominic Jackson may not have been the best player on that 2015 offensive line, but you still go, we want that. You look at that 2020 offensive line with Dickerson and Neal and Leatherwood and Cornbread Brown, and you go, I want that. And all of those were elite level offensive lines. Can this year's group be at that same plateau? Possibly, maybe, but it comes down to getting these guys healthy for preseason camp. These guys continuing to work under Wolford, jail under Wolford, bond under Wolford, bond with each other, and play as one cohesive unit. Because that's the biggest thing with an offensive line. You got 5 individual players, and they all have their individual jobs, but the key is to work as one cohesive unit. And if you can work as one unit, then you see how special your front really, truly is. So I wouldn't hit the panic button. My finger would not be on the panic button just yet. Let's let some guys get healthy. Let's let some guys get healed up. Let's have Tyler Steen arrive in the summer, and then let's see what Alabama looks like. I thought J.C. Latham on the offensive line had a strong spring game. I thought Tyler Booker, the freshman, looked really good with the second team unit. I thought Tanner Bowles did some good things. I thought Terrence Ferguson did some good things. If you watch the second group on the offensive line, they did some work out there on the field. So that there was some positive from the front unit as well. It's just you had some guys injured that you got to get back out there healthy, prepared, and set to go. But for me, I would not have my finger on the panic button right now. Give it some time. Let's get some players back. Let's get some players healthy. in terms of summer and fall camp. But we're going to go to a break here, folks, on the show. Don't touch that dial, because when we return, we jump back into the phone lines. We grab your calls. We grab your thoughts. We grab your opinions. We grab your concerns. And we take them right after this.
Don't touch that dial. Call in right now as we're taking your calls up next on In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith, brought to you by We Own the Fourth Quarter. Visit WeOwnTheFourthQuarter.com now to get your four-finger bling necklace.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Marvin Constant, All-SEC linebacker and 1999 SEC champion. You are listening to In My Own Words, brought to you by Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Roll Tide.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care, in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99, and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to WhitwillSports.com and get your Title Towel today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
All right, folks, we're back into the action from the break. #1 show, bringing the heat to you for your Crimson Tide. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine, getting all thoughts here in terms of A-Day. Continue to hit that subscribe button. Hit subscribe right now. Get your friends, family members to subscribe, because if you love the content, they will enjoy it as well. We're talking diehard Bama fans, casual Bama fans, casual college football fans. Hit that subscribe button right here on the YouTube channel. And also, don't forget to leave a like. Hit that like button. Get that thumbs up. Give us a like right here. Raise these likes up. Trying to get this thing up to 50 likes right now on the show. Making this your network channel platform to talk Crimson Tide football. But going to the phone lines to grab your calls. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. Number to call in to let your voice be heard, 205-448-1358. Whereas you are getting your thoughts prepared, your ideas prepared to call into the show. Just continuing my thoughts here on the offensive line. It's, once you get guys healthy, once we get some guys healthy and back for summer workouts and back for preseason camp, I think then you have a better scope of what you can do up front, because the addition of Tyler Steen, it gives you depth, it gives you flexibility, it gives you versatility in the guys that can play guard, the guys that can play tackle, who's coming in off the bench, who's rotating in here. It gives you a much better scope of things. So once we get guys healthy, get them back out there in practice, get them back out there rocking and rolling, then we can truly see what this offensive line looks like. So for those of you that may have your hand on the panic button or have your hand worrying about, man, this offensive line still ain't good. It still ain't killing folks. It still ain't snatching folks' soul. It still ain't stealing folks' girls. It still ain't at folks' neck. Like, I don't know what's up with this offensive line. Give the players, give the guys time. They're going to get this together here under Coach Wolford. But going to now, really interesting and a pretty cool call topic here. And the topic is on, so ESPN, about a week or so ago, ESPN had their football power index rankings for the preseason for the 2022 campaign. And Alabama was #1 there in those rankings. According to the self-proclaimed worldwide leader in sports, Alabama had the highest percentage to not only win the SEC at, I believe, 49.6%, it also had the highest percentage to win of the college football playoff national championship at 30.7%. But here's what was intriguing. ESPN has Alabama winning 11 games this year, 11.3 games. So it got me thinking, where does the loss come in? If ESPN's got Bama winning 11.3 games, where's the loss? And to U.S. fans, is the loss Auburn? Is it Texas? Is it Texas A&M? Is it LSU? Like, is it Ole Miss? Like, where's the loss? Because this is coming from ESPN. 11.3 wins projected, but they somehow see, a loss here on the Crimson Tide schedule. So I want to throw this to you as fans, and definitely you guys in the chat line. Where do you see a loss? If a loss comes up on Alabama's schedule in any conceivable way, where do you see the loss? Where does it happen, and what team could it be that would hand Alabama the loss? So definitely want to get your thoughts there in the chat line, dropping that team in there if you see a loss on the Crimson Tide schedule. But I just thought that was interesting to me. We're going to take our final break here, folks, on the show. When we get back, we get into the summer enrollees with a day over, spring practice, spring football over for the Crimson Tide. And after what we saw a season ago, with the summer enrollees coming in later in the offseason, which one of these guys can make a big impact on the Crimson Tide? We'll talk about it after this.
If you're an avid Alabama Crimson Tide fan and you love to flaunt it, then show your Alabama Crimson Tide support by grabbing the All Bama sneakers. They feature bold Crimson Tide graphics, so no one will be able to question where your allegiance lies. When you add these sweet sneakers to your Alabama Crimson Tide collection, go to stsfootwear.com and use the code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. That's code TDAlabama for $15 off your purchase. Go to stsfootwear.com and get your All Bama sneakers today. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $7.95 per month, or pay $74.95 for a full year subscription. That's a yearly saving of $20. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide. Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
We're back into the action here, folks, from the break. #1 show, hottest form in the streets here, talking your Crimson Tide. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Appreciate you guys checking us out on today. Jamie Wilhelm with that $4.99 in the Super Chats. Appreciate the donation from Jamie. And he had a thought there on one Tyler Harrell, transfer from Louisville, looking like he may be coming to the Crimson Tide. So if Harrell does come, Jamie's thought is, would the receiver room be Harrell, Burton, Christian Leary? I think so. You could have Tyler Harrell, Jermaine Burton, and Christian Leary. I 100% think so. I think so. There'll be other guys rotated in, absolutely. But if Tyler Harrell makes this announcement of, I'm coming to Alabama, I'm coming into the program, I'm being a member of the Crimson Tide, then you could definitely see Burton, Harrell, and Christian Leary as the three potential three starting receivers for Alabama football. Also, before we get into the final topic of conversation, got to remind you of TDAwear.com. That's TDAwear.com. So, for all of you fans wanting that swag, sauce, drip, swagger, cultural needs there, clothing needs there as well, we got you covered. TDAwear.com. Link in the description. Do your shopping right there. If you didn't get a chance to get yourself set up with the gear for the A-Day game, don't fret. You got summer workouts, you got fall camp, you got the beginning of this upcoming season in the fall to get yourself clean with this TDA Wear gear. So check us out right now, tdawear.com. Link in the description showing that support for Coach Saban, the student athletes, the University of Alabama, and us here at TDA. But like you don't panic where the offensive line is concerned. You let some guys get healthy. You let some guys get rested up. And then you see what this group really looks like. Also, don't panic because for the Crimson Tide, things are always subject to change. And they're subject to change because of the summer enrollees. Bama's going to have quite a few guys enrolled this summer under Coach Saban. So between May and June, it's going to be several summer enrollees. And we've seen in years past where summer enrollees have come in here and they have shook some things up. They have really, got that playing time. When you discuss Minkah Fitzpatrick, he came in and shook some things up. 2015, summer enrollee, became a starter, became an All-American. You look at Jalen Waddle, who came in the summer of 2018 and shook some things up. And he was called the human joystick because of what he was able to do. You look at, a Jamison Williams. So this is a transfer edition, but Jamison Williams came in the summer, and he shook some things up. So summer enrollees, when they come in during the summer, they have an opportunity to really alter things for the football program. And for Alabama, quite a few guys in this 2022 class will be here in the summer when you discuss names like Earl Little Jr., defensive back. You've got Isaiah Bond, wide receiver, probably the fastest receiver Coach Saban has ever recruited. You got Emmanuel Henderson, 5-star running back, coming in here in the summer. You got Isaiah Hastings on the defensive line coming in. You got Danny Lewis Jr. and Amari Nablack, 2 tight ends, coming in the summer. You got Jake Pope, defensive back, coming in. You got Elijah Pritchett, offensive lineman, coming in. You've got Antonio Kite, defensive back, coming in. Like I've already mentioned, Tyler Steen, transfer offensive lineman. So you got several guys that will be on campus in the summer. And quite a few of these guys, based on the positions of need, what we saw in the A-Day game, what we saw last season, quite a few of these guys will have a chance to get on the field here and create an impact. And just for me, I want to see how Isaiah Bond looks. Isaiah Bond is fast. Like, how does he look in the summer? How does Kobe Prentice look in the summer? Devontae Smith, Heisman Trophy winner Devontae Smith, worked with Shaz Preston all spring long. So I kind of want to see how Preston looks. I want to see how Elijah Pritchett looks on the offensive line. I mean, that guy's a towering figure at 6'7", 6'8". Coach Saban talked about depth needed at the tight end position. It was encouraging seeing Robbie Oots make plays in the spring game, and Cameron Latu is already a stud, though people don't talk more about him, and I don't understand why. But getting Danny Lewis Jr. and Amari Nablack on campus, that's intriguing. Nablack is kind of a more refined version of Jaleel Billingsley, and Danny Lewis Jr., all I remember is Coach Saban during the press conference for signing day talk about how excited he was to end the 2022 class with a tight end. So having those two in the summer, what do they do? Earl Little Jr. I'm fascinated every time I watch his tape because he reminds me of a Minkah Fitzpatrick, Patrick Surtain II in one body. And that's a scary thing to look at right there. So there's going to be several guys that will be on campus in the summer. The idea will be which one makes the impact quickly, which one hits it all fast, which one plays with discipline, plays with fun, plays with fire, plays with flair, plays with technique, and impresses the coaching staff enough to get on that field despite coming in as a summer guy. So just like you don't panic when you talk the offensive line, you don't panic when you discuss the entire team because in the summer, things are subject to change. In the summer, we could see some alterations because these summer kids coming in, these summer enrollees, a lot of them are ready to take somebody's job upon getting in here in the summer. So it's going to be interesting to look at when May and June arrive and these guys make landfall on campus, how many will be snatching some jobs away as this competition at every spot is back here in Tuscaloosa. But as always, Tide fans, you want the best in news, notes, material, and coverage on your favorite program, that being Bama football. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. Now, for your audio listening needs, check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, or iHeartRadio got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Wednesday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. Remember, Tide fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link where? In the description. If you're trying to get the fresh edition, print edition of TDA the magazine, you go to touchdownalabama.com. You click join. Become a member or a subscriber today. That link in the description too. If you're trying to get the four-finger bling necklace, four-finger bling jewelry, courtesy of our guys at weownthefourthquarter.com. That's weownthefourthquarter.com. That link in the description as well. But appreciate my man Patrick P. Money Down, breaking news reporter for TDA, sitting in with us on the first topic, recapping the A-Day game, some takeaways from the matchup. That's always fun to get that dialogue going there. Appreciate you, the passionate fans of Bama football, your donations, your conversations, your chats, your calls, making this your show, your network platform, channel space to talk Bama. Also, gotta thank my man John Ivory in the production studio as well, doing his thing from behind the scenes. Until next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives, appreciate, value those husbands. Children, you guys continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing. Do not be bored. School semester almost out. Keep holding on there, kids. Continue getting those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Also, my man Bill from New York, Big Bill, that 501 in the Super Chats. Appreciate the love from Bill. Get those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith. See you Wednesday. You've been listening to In My Own Words.